You got to be faithful in the little things, and then you'll be given more to man. Did you ever read that scripture? The first thing you got to do if you want to win with money is you have to get on a budget. The second thing we have to do is we need to get out of debt. Now, you knew Dave Ramsey was going to say that. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. And it's tough to serve two masters because you'll love one and hate the other. You have to foster quality relationships. Did you know you become who you hang around with? I mean, if you want to be generous, you need to hang out with generous people. I'm talking about your crew. Who's in your center? Who's walking with you? Who's lifting your arms? Who's smacking them down? Who's calling you out? You're going to become who you hang around with. The fourth one is save and invest. Save money. Save money. If you follow his guidelines, his principles, they work every time. Be outrageously generous. Generosity comes from having planted corn, so now I got some to share with my brothers and sisters. And it's the most fun you'll ever have with money. When you start letting money flow through you instead of to you, it changes everything in your life. But it is a mathematical requirement that for money to flow through you, you have to get it to you. So here's the thing. You can decide, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna start handling my life the way God instructs in his love letter to me. And he's crazy about me, and he's got a plan for me, and it's not to bring me harm, but to bring me hope. I'm gonna get better.
Wow, wow, wow.
You did the clap.
Change.
That's right.
You're pitching good when you're doing this.
Yeah.
So good.
I thought that was brilliant, though. Like, he had everybody clapping at the end. And I took it into a meeting yesterday because I was getting all worked up about something. I said, all you need to do is
Just change.
Love it.
just change. That's so good. I'm walking around doing that, clapping.
Just
Change.
clap.
Yeah.
It doesn't work as effectively on my kids, I've noticed, but we're still trying. We're still sticking with it. We're gonna figure it out.
That is true. That is true. So somebody said, love the message. It was interesting coming from Dave Ramsey. Some people only know Dave from television,
Right.
or from his radio show, and might not know that he has a biblical basis for a lot of what comes out.
Sure.
And what I think is so crazy about that is so much of what works in life, people don't really realize that it has the biblical basis.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't understand this worked. I was like, I knew that was gonna work, and I'll tell you why. That's not something you made up.
Right.
Like, that's something that's been founded through the world, through what God brought down to earth. And has led people through from day one. And so we got to be a part of that. Let us know in the chat something that maybe stuck out to you. You said the wiener and the steakhouse thing. Somebody else said that too.
I love Tina Marie put, Dave Ramsey changed my marriage, our life, family tree, and most importantly brought us back to the church after taking financial peace 4 years ago. And I love that comment so much because this weekend is so much bigger than just money.
Money,
Like if you came out of this weekend and you just heard like, this is just how to get rich. No. Like the root of it is like, it's stewardship.
Stewardship.
It's how to steward what God has given
Stewardship.
me. And so many of those biblical principles that Dave shared, I think are applicable to like some of the other areas of my life, my marriage.
Oh, for sure.
It is.
How I steward my role.
for sure.
So good.
Yeah, because
so
it wasn't even just stewardship. It was a sermon about discipline.
Right.
That's right.
It was a sermon about generosity.
That's right.
It was a sermon about so many biblical principles, not just even that one. But I feel like a lot of us stopped short because we were reeled in because it's like, oh yeah, I want to be debt free, or oh, I want to have millions of dollars, or I want X, Y, and Z. But what we're really sensing that we want are these biblical disciplines. And how to live those out well. And that was really the root of his message. And he talked about it specifically with money, but you live it out in all areas of your life. There's a ripple effect.
And that's why I love Jason Honeycutt. He goes to UC. A shout out to the Honeycutt family. First of all, it's a great last name. And then Jason just has phenomenal sideburns. I just wanted to make sure I said that. But I love his comment on YouTube where he says they're walking their kids through financial peace.
Beautiful.
And I think the reason why that's so great is because, like you guys are saying, these principles apply to way more than your money. I know we're getting ready. We want to see in the chat, both on YouTube and on Facebook, what stood out to you from the sermon. But I'm going to be honest with you, one of the things that really blew me away was that when he started talking about the importance of fostering high quality relationships.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm telling you,
That got me.
Jason, he's got a son in our youth ministry at UC. And I'm telling you, the purpose of our youth ministry, the purpose of groups is all about being able to foster those high quality relationships. That has way more effect on your life than just what happens with your money. And if that's something that our children can get and while they're still living with us at the house, that's something I think is going to absolutely change the trajectory of their lives, where they will experience wealth in all areas of their lives more than we did in our generation. So I shout out to Nicole's in the chat as well. Shout out to Nicole, shout out to Jason, the whole Honeycutt family.
It's like I'm a Honeycutt.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Their crew joining from all over the place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, one of the things, I love that because I was thinking the same thing, Will, about the relationship piece, because that is so important when you surround yourself with the right people. And I was thinking, a lot of people who are joining today might be like, well, that's cool, Will, to surround yourself with people.
Right.
I'm in Michigan, or I'm in Florida, or I'm in the Philippines. I see people joining from all over the world.
That's right.
And I would love to be in community with some people who can really encourage me and grow in my faith. How do I do that? Now, some people who've been joining every week would be like, I know exactly how to do that. I need to get in an e-group. And that's right. So here's the deal. We're going to talk all around this and stuff, but I just want to address that straight on. It's like, maybe you are saying, I don't have good quality relationships that I'm in. Well, we've got you covered.
We do.
We have so many opportunities. We would love for you to get a group in your home that you could gather around, but maybe you don't have the ability to do that.
Sure.
Maybe you don't have people around you close enough. Maybe you don't have the ability to open your home or get out of your home or something like that. So we do this thing called online e-groups, where you can connect with people from all over the world just like this, but who can encourage you on a weekly basis. You join up together and you talk about the message, and you encourage each other in faith and encourage each other in finances. And talk about the struggles and journeys that you're on. So if you would like to be in one of those groups, Britt, what do they need to do? Britt oversees e-groups for our church. So she's the one who would really tell you about it.
E-groups got me a husband. I say this all the
Did
time,
y'all hear
so
that?
they work. No, I'm kidding.
Put that in the chat.
No, well, that is a true story, but I do love the community that I found. I still have friends from my very first e-group at the church 10 years ago.
Right.
Love that.
We've seen each other, we walked through so much, from singleness to marriage, now kids, and whatever, life has brought our way, and not just the ups, but also the downs. And so if you would like to be a part of an e-group, it's so easy. Just go to elevationchurch.cc. And then you're gonna click join a group, and then there will be a group somewhere for you. And if you're a part of our online community, it doesn't have to be a group near you. There's gonna be a little tag there that says virtual. Just join any one of those virtual groups, and you'll be able to join from wherever you are in the world and be a part of a community of believers that are part of our church. And so it's that simple.
That's right. Make sure you do that. I mean, so many people are saying, I have an e-group. I joined an e-group that starts today. Austin said that.
That's great.
And we love that. I also saw somebody say it was surprising how he related scripture to finances. I saw that in the chat, and I thought, I don't know if you heard where he said there's over 2,300 scriptures
Can you believe
related
that?
to finance.
And he's not wrong though, because I'm like, that's an outrageous number.
I Googled it.
I literally looked it up, and I'm like, then you start looking and you're like, oh my goodness, it's everywhere. And it's, it's all, like he said through Proverbs. And so I pulled so many scriptures even on the specific points that he had for us. And they're all biblically based. And it just made me feel like, oh, there is an urgency to this. If God talks about this much in his word, how can I not live this out daily in my life? And there's so many handles in the Bible to give you different perspective on how to do it.
And what I love about that is that those biblical principles give us what we need from an urgency standpoint. Most of us tend to wait until there is an emergency.
Yes, exactly.
And then we try to figure some of that stuff out. But if we can address it before the emergency, when it's just an urgency standpoint.
Exactly.
Meaning, one of the basic ones was like, hey, no man builds a house before counting the cost. You need a budget. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do.
That's right.
You need to have a written down plan.
That's right.
For what's going to happen, not just with your money though. You need to be able to budget your time as well.
That's right.
Right? because some of us are waking up and on our 4th cup of coffee already. It's because you were up till 1 a.m. yesterday, and now we're up to go to work, and now there's so many of these principles that start in our finances that apply to the rest of our lives. Dave literally said you can read through the book of Proverbs and have a master's degree in finance by the time you get to the end of it.
Isn't that crazy?
And it is true.
It is so true.
It's
Absolutely.
so true.
I was blown away.
Blown away.
Yeah.
I love the example that he gave of Solomon, right?
Yes.
And typically we know Solomon for being someone that's wise. But if you read the scriptures in Kings, you see that he wasn't just wise, but he was also rich.
Yes.
And the Bible says that people from other countries, kings from other places, would come to hear Solomon's wisdom. And so you see the direct correlation between wisdom and stewardship to fruitfulness and even influence.
Yep.
And so that's what I love about, first off, I'm just grateful for our church that we're even talking about this at this level.
Yep.
But if we got anything out of this weekend, it's wisdom, it's stewardship. And Chad, I love what you said about fostering high quality relationships. I don't know about you, but at the beginning, when I first heard that, I was like, does that mean I need to surround myself with millionaires or something like that? But even if it's like, hey, I'm surrounding myself with people that are on the same journey as me, that are trying to reach the same place as me, that is so valuable. Because I know, I've been in that place too, where you're staring at that bank account, that bank statement, you're looking at the debt, and it feels like you're the only one.
Right.
But there's just something so powerful about community that just takes out the shame of oh,
That's right.
you're going through that too? Even hearing Dave Ramsey, someone that's well off, say oh yeah, I've made stupid decisions as well, is just so freeing and helps take the shame off of a difficult conversation when it comes to money.
Right.
Well, isn't it because, we went through a very similar journey, as I'm sure most people did at the beginning of our marriage, mine and my wife's. It wasn't we were in a terrible financial position. We just weren't necessarily talking openly and on the same page as to how to budget and finance. And I had ideas of what I wanted to do, and she had ideas of what she wanted to do. And I think at first we kind of switched hands multiple times. Okay, you're gonna oversee the money, and then it got where it's this is too much. I'm too stressed out. Okay, I'm gonna oversee the money, and so I oversee the money for a time, and then we moved, and she took back over overseeing the money.
That's real.
And it was always this place. I think one of what they say is the biggest area of frustration and fights in marriage tend to happen over finances. And it comes from you not being on the same page and not aligning yourself, because at least in the United States, this Western culture brings so much shame if you don't have that stuff locked down. I don't have $1 million in the bank.
Right.
You are seen as less than. And what I love about this program that Dave Ramsey built with Financial Peace, somebody said a little bit earlier, I've wanted to get this program for such a long time. I've wanted to go through this for such a long time. And we'll tell you more about that in a second, because all of you can go through it for free. Typically it costs $100.
$129.99.
Right. So we're taking that piece away. So there is no reason you should not go through this. But all of that to say, my wife and I then went through this financial piece. It was called Financial Peace University at the time. I don't know, it may still be called that. And it didn't change our finances immediately, because it requires you to do work.
That's right. You got to do something.
So it wasn't like we went through it and all of a sudden we're like, man, look at all of the money.
There wasn't that.
But it definitely caused us to look at it together in a different way, but that was unified.
That's good.
And so it gave us something to unify around. And so maybe you're in a situation like that where you're like, man, me and my spouse aren't on the same page, or just me personally, I don't even know I don't know where my money is going. You start with the biblical principles that Dave put in front of us on Sunday, and this class will take you through it. So in the 10 minutes we have left, I would love to hear two things. We're gonna tell you guys, Britt's gonna share with you in just a minute about how you can become a part of these resources, how you can get them for free, and you're gonna wanna join us. We're gonna go live every Tuesday to kind of have a group together to discuss this. So we'll tell you about that. But share some of our journeys for a minute of those finances, because again, there's so much power in that Me Too. I've been there too.
Sure.
I feel like I'm gonna go through it this time, and this will be I went through this about maybe 10 years ago. I was single, fresh out of like college. So it's like such a different season. Now though, I am married and I have a child. And so even if you're familiar at all with like Dave Ramsey and Financial Peace University, they talk about baby steps and they clearly lay out steps that you can take to be able to achieve financial freedom. So I went through these different baby steps as a single person, but then I get married, and when I got married, I inherited some things that I was like, well, now we got to figure this out in a whole new level. And then even on top of that, some things just were not applicable. At 22, I was not saving for my kids' college fund. You know what I mean? I wasn't even thinking about that. And so now even the budget that I made and the way that I've lived for so long has to adjust and change because my season is so different. And so in our marriage, we had like similar, like to you, Chad, it was just like, well, this is how I've always just done. And my vice, this is maybe just being very vulnerable, it's eating out. I need
talk about it.
Money to spend to eat good food out. And my husband is an accountant. And so you can see how when you talk about tension, like we're trying to figure this thing out. He's like, Britt, I really like.
He's like, I'm good with the ramen noodles.
Literally, he's like, we do not need this. And I'm like, no, we need this. Like, we need this. And so it's just been like a fun journey on like, how do we compromise? How do we, I say fun. I'm using maybe not the right word at times. It's not fun.
It's fun. Okay,
very fun sometimes, tension filled other times. But we're so pumped about this because we're like, hey, like we've been married now for going on 5 years. So
congrats.
Thank you. So we're still kind of in that like newlywed, but it's also like now we just don't have the excuse of like we are newlyweds anymore. And so we're like excited for this because we get to reset some things. Like we are actively going through like the snowball effect and all of that. Like by next year, we'll be debt free.
Love it.
And so we're going through some of these things. So we're excited to go through this with our EFam and with all of us together on Tuesday nights. And I know we'll talk about that in a second.
We'll mention that because so many people are saying, for EFam, is it free for everybody? Is it just campuses?
For everybody. Okay. Dave Ramsey, his last point was talking about generosity. And him and his team, they wanted to gift everyone at Elevation Church, you included, financial peace for free. And so it's super simple to be able to access it. If you are asking all the questions, how do I do this? How do I do this? All you need to do is go to elevationchurch.org. You're gonna scroll down and then you'll see a banner. It says the FPU experience.
Hey, let's show them. We have a little walkthrough here. So as Britt's telling you, this is actually what it looks like.
So this is what it'll look like. Go to elevationchurch.org. And then what you're gonna do once it loads is you're gonna scroll down and then you'll see where it says the FPU experience. You simply click that right there. It looks just like that. And then you just fill out the prompts and it's literally that simple. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna send you access to the whole curriculum. And on top of that, it's one thing, you can go through this on your own and you're welcome to do that. But we've been talking about these high quality communities and sharpening each other. And we wanted to create an opportunity to be able to come together every single week and hold each other accountable as we walk through these baby steps. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna have people from our team, we're gonna go live every single Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we would like to invite you to join us just to walk through these steps. We're gonna talk about things like budgeting. We're gonna talk about how to get out of debt. We're gonna talk about how to save for an emergency fund. We're gonna talk about all the tips and tricks for every type of personality. And no matter where you're at in your finances, we wanna walk through this with you. We're walking through it ourselves. And we wanna be able to build a community to do this together, to really experience financial freedom.
That's right.
That's what Dave preached on. That's what we're believing for as a church. This is why we're creating these moments, even like right now, to even talk about this, because this matters. I know so many people get like so cringy whenever we're talking about like finances, but really even the fact that you would cringe or even not even want to talk about it just goes to show that you need freedom in that area. And so when we talk about 2,500 scriptures about it, we're going to learn about the scriptures too. What does our Bible actually even say about this? Like we should know that as Christians. And we're going to tackle all of that as we go live every week to talk about this topic.
And it's free. I don't know if we said that or not.
I mean,
just say it again.
But that's my favorite price.
It is free.
That's my favorite price to pay for anything is free.
Free.
It is free.
Not even kidding. Normally $129 value. Can you believe that? And it's completely free. So you as a church, don't miss out. You literally only have a few more days to sign up for this. So if you're hearing right now, I want you to go ahead and do that this morning. sign up for it. We want to get that into your hands so we can walk through this together.
And no matter where you're at in your faith journey when it comes to your finances, this is a phenomenal resource. My wife and I did it a while back, similar to what Chad was talking about earlier. Dave kind of referenced this during the sermon, and my wife and I very much were praying over the mud that we had not put a seed in, and we were waiting for a miracle to take place, and we had done no work. And I watched Financial Peace really change the way we handled our money.
That's right.
And as we continue to go through different seasons and earn more money, we've had to make adjustments. We've moved states a couple times, and never leaving North Carolina ever again. But so here to stay. But as the Lord continues to send us more money, that money begins to flow through us through generosity. We have to be able to go back to our budget, back to those very first baby steps, and to make the adjustments. But it starts with you putting seed in the ground.
That's right.
And because the resource is free, I don't know if we said that or not yet, but because it's free, the seed that you need to do this is free. Right? Our church is giving you the seed to put into the ground.
That's right.
You just need to take the seed and actually do the work that it's going to take to foster. You got to be able to take it. The seed is free for you today. So please, if you don't hear us say anything else, make sure you get online and click that FPU banner on the website so that your life can change. You can experience that financial freedom.
How much?
It's free. I don't know if we said that today or not.
Sure, put it in the
It is free,
Austin said my favorite price.
My favorite price.
Somebody said, so Julie, Love and Good said, what if you're not available for the first class? Are they taped? So we will actually have them available on Elevation Plus.
Right.
So if you're not subscribed to Elevation Plus, make sure you do that. It's another one of our YouTube channels. By the way, I know that we've had some issues with YouTube and Facebook today. I think YouTube is actually having some issues across the board. People were saying that it's coming in and out and things like that. So this will also be available on Elevation Plus. So if you kind of came in late because it was having troubles on Facebook or YouTube, you can catch all of the CoffeeFams on Elevation Plus as well. But one of the things that we talk about every week, if you join us on the weekends for church, and if you don't, why not? You should, is tithing. And honestly, that's a big part of placing God first in the area of your finances, to be able to tithe and say, God, you're entrusting me. I mean, this is the whole biblical principle, right? Like what you have is not yours.
Correct.
That's a misconception. What you have is a gift from God. And so you're just stewarding what it is that he's given you. Not just money-wise, your job, your kids. It's really how you should view what it is that you have in life. It's you stewarding what God has given you. So this class also just really allows you, a lot of times we talk about tithing, and I know a lot of people are like, tithe, I can't even pay my bill. Like you think I'm gonna tithe before I paid rent for my kids to sleep at night? Well, this will really help you get on the path toward tithing, 10%. Some people start out with the baby steps. Maybe I can't do 10%, I'm gonna start giving. This will allow you to really get to the place where each week when we encourage you to give, you don't feel like, I can't do that. You'll feel like, man, I get to do that now. I get to do that every single week. And so just one of the many, many benefits that you'll have. Now there's a lot coming up. Where do you go for the resource? We'll just tell you one more time, elevationchurch.org. Scroll down, you'll see the the FPU experience, financial peace experience there available for you free. Select online if you are part of the online campus, and then select your physical location if you are a part of a physical location. Like who joins from UC?
The Honeycutt family.
The Honeycutt family. You put UC.
That's right.
And then, okay, if you didn't know, Elevation Nights is coming up in 4.5 weeks.
Cannot wait.
Right around the corner now.
If you haven't gotten tickets, make sure you do that. And then Church Sunday is right around the corner.
That's right.
You don't want to miss out.
Absolutely
you do not want to miss church this week.
That's right.
All right, anything else we're missing?
I think that's it. Make sure you guys get that. How much?
It's free.
Free resource.
It is for free resource.
We hope to see you on tour. And we hope to see you Tuesday night whenever we go live to talk about Financial Peace University.
It starts next Tuesday.
It starts next Tuesday night, the 29th. Be there. And if you do miss it, I know some people said that it will be available on Elevation Plus. So make sure you subscribe today so you don't miss out on anything.
That's right.
That's everything.
All right, we love you all. Thanks for being a part of the family. We can't wait to see how God continues to work in your life, especially through this amazing free resource. We love you. We'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.